Hello students, this is a video for class 10th and this is class 10th biology video, and today I am going to tell you about the chromatin material. So students, as I told you that the chromatin material is basically a thread-like fibers, very complicated thread-like fibers present inside the nucleus of all living cells, and their number and size will be varying in different species, but otherwise it is just like a thread only. And I am showing you a detailed structure of nucleus, and you can see here the nucleus is having one outer covering perinuclear space, then some endoplasmic reticulum attached with the nucleus, then there are some euchromatin, heterochromatin, nucleolus, nucleoplasm, nuclear envelope, all these and outer membrane, nuclear membrane, inner nuclear membrane, nuclear pore, and ribosomes. These all are nucleus structure, but our main focus is on this chromatin. This thread-like structure is called as chromatin material, which is embedded inside the nucleus, and this all we are going to discuss in detail about what is this chromatin material and what it will be going to form. So students, let's start with the chromatin material. As I want to tell you that chromatin material means chroma means colored. It will be having some it is brightly stained, colored, long, fine fibers which overlap over one another and form a network known as chromatin network. It was discovered by Fleming. And students, this chromatin material is embedded inside the nucleoplasm. You know that this nucleus is filled with the nucleoplasm. So this chromatin material is embedded inside the nucleoplasm. So ultimately this chromatin material is made up of two substances. One is histone protein, second is DNA. So students, we are going to discuss about this structure in detail. So students, the chromatin material is actually basically made up of two substances, DNA, which is 40%, and histone protein, that is 60%. This DNA and histone combine together to form chromatin. So if you want to see, the chromatin will be, we can say that look like a thread-like structure which overlap with one another, and this thread-like structure, whenever it will be condensed, when it will cell will be entering into the cell division, then it will condense and attain a particular shape, and this shape is called as chromosome. So students, before going further, I want to show you how the chromatin material is filled inside the cell. So just look at it. So students, you can see here, this is a cell, and inside the cell there is a nucleus. We have taken out nucleus outside, and inside the nucleus there are so many chromosomes. Right now I shown you that chromatin material will condense and convert into a chromosomes. These chromosomes will be taken out, and look at this, the chromosome is outside, central part is centromere is their side. When we will just unwind this chromosome, then we will get one a very coiled thread, very much coiled thread, and this coiled thread is called as chromatin fiber. Okay, actually this chromatin fiber will be coiled, condensed, and then forming this chromosome. And when it will be this coiled fiber will be more uncoiled and just taken out its pieces, and it's we are just uncoiling this chromatin fiber, then we are getting some beads. Some beads are shown here, look at this, and these beaded part is called as nucleosome. Students, I am going to tell you about the nucleosome in detail by drawing diagram. Right now you see where is nucleosome is located. Actually this nucleosome is a combination of histone and DNA, and when the histone and DNA wrap together, then they form a nucleosome. So these nucleosomes are acting like a beads, very small beads are there, and these beads are just combined together, and then they are forming a chromatin material. So afterwards, when we are opening this bead also, then we are getting 8 round histone proteins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, the 5, 6, 7, 8, these all are histone proteins. They are arranged in a particular manner. They are globularly arranged, and this DNA thread is wrapped around them, and then we are getting a nucleosome. So look at the DNA. DNA is also shown here. We will discuss today in this video DNA also. So this DNA will be made up of some compounds, and then it will form one thread. Thread will be overlap over the 8 histone proteins, which is called as octamer, and then these histone proteins and DNA together form beads. These beads are called nucleosomes. When these nucleosomes are coiled, very highly coiled, then they are forming a chromatin fiber. When chromatin fiber will be condensed, highly condensed, then they will attain a shape of chromosome, and then chromosome will be filled inside the nucleus, and nucleus is lying inside the cell, and all over this whole living world is made up of cell, that you know very well. So students, and this is a original picture of chromosome, that is some part is shown here. Now I want to tell you that what do you mean by nucleosome, and what is the exact structure of nucleosome. So students, as I told you, that nucleosomes basically made up of histone protein. So you have seen that chromatin material is made up of DNA and histone. Okay, and these DNA and histone, when combined together, they are making nucleosome. So let's see how nucleosomes are formed. Okay, so students, I'm going to make a nucleosome. Histone proteins are like 1, 2, 3, 4 round protein like structures, and backside means similarly backside there are 4 more, that is 5, 6, 7, 8. This type of one round structure is formed of histone proteins. These are histone proteins, and then DNA is overlapping over them. Then this whole portion is called as nucleosome. Then again this DNA will be overlapping at one part, and histone proteins will be there, 8 histone proteins, then again 8 histone proteins. So millions of this nucleosome is formed, millions of nucleosomes. So like this nucleosome is prepared, and now these nucleosomes are highly coiled, very close and highly coiled, and then they are making chromatin fiber. So students, next one I want to tell you that what are these DNA and histone proteins. So histone is made up of protein, and today's my main topic is structure of DNA. I want to explain you structure of DNA. Okay, structure of DNA. Structure of DNA. So students, you need to focus on structure of DNA. As I told you earlier also, that this DNA is made up of so many chemical compounds, and these chemical compounds when joined together, they gives a double helical structure of DNA. Double helical structure of DNA. So students, this double helical structure of DNA was discovered in 1953, but it was discovered, it was prepared by Watson and Crick, and one group in separately, and another group was studying on this DNA and molecular structure. Rosalind and Franklin in another group, they are studying on molecular structure, and both when clubbed together their work, then they got the exact structure of DNA. So students, later on in 1962, they awarded a Nobel Prize, that Watson, Crick and Franklin. And then afterwards, the basic idea of structure of DNA came forward. So students, DNA is a very, very large structure, very, very large molecule. So it is also called as macromolecule. Macromolecule. Very big structure. Macromolecule. This macromolecule has two complementary strands wound around each other in a double helical structure. So you can see, I want to make this double helical structure. So students, first of all, make a one strand. This is called double helical structure. So like this DNA is somewhat look like. So now I want to tell you what are the internal parts of this DNA. So students, before just I want to show you. So look at this, the internal part of the DNA. First of all, the DNA is made up of three substances, three compounds. Number one is sugar. Number one is sugar, and sugar is ribose sugar, and next one is your sugar is ribose sugar, and next one is your this phosphate, and third one is your nitrogenous bases. Now students, we are going to discuss about the structure of DNA. So students, structure of DNA, as I told you, is called as macromolecule, and this macromolecule is having two complementary strands, and these two complementary strands are wound or coiled around each other in a double helical manner. So students, these complementary strands are made up of some substances. That substances we are going to discuss, and these substances are actually there are three substances. Number one is as I told you that DNA is a macromolecule and double helical structure. Two strands are just coiled together. So students, you can see that two strands are like this, and they are in a ladder manner, and these this ladder is coiled around each other, and double helical structure is formed. So this one strand is made up of three substances. Number one is sugar. Sugar is ribose type. The sugar's name is ribose. Number one. Number second substance is phosphate. Number third substance is nitrogenous base. Nitrogenous bases. These three substances, when combined together, they form a single strand. So you can see here this single strand is made up of these three substances. So let's start one by one. Sugar. Now I'm going to draw the shape of sugar. The sugar is 5 carbon structure, and this sugar is known as pentose sugar, or its name is sugar is this ribose sugar. Okay, its structure is like this. Now second one is phosphate. Phosphate is in the form of this one, phosphate. And now third one is your nitrogenous bases. Nitrogenous bases, these are of 4 types. 4 types. Number 1 is adenine. Adenine. Number 2 is guanine. Number 3 is cytosine. Number 4 is thiamine. Students, these nitrogenous bases are also having specific structures. The adenine and guanine is having 9-ringed structure like this, and cytosine and thiamine is having 6-ring structure. So these all structures, when combined together, ribose sugar, phosphate, and these nitrogenous bases, these 4 structures, when combined together, they form one strand of DNA. So let's make one structure. You can see here that this is a phosphate. It is combining with the pentose sugar like this from this side, and then from here it is combining with the base. Now base we can represent by either like this, or you can make a simple structure. So if you want to see, then we can make a same type of structure as I have shown you. So you can make it like this also. Suppose this is thiamine. Okay, and then this is sugar, this is phosphate, then lower side also phosphate group is attached. Okay, so this is one structure formed by these compounds, and this structure is called as nucleotide. Nucleotide. So nucleotide is formed, and these 3 components, this nucleotide is a basic unit of DNA strand. So many nucleotides, when joined together, arranged together, then they are making a one strand. So we can make one strand from these nucleotides only. So look at this, how it will be formed. You have to do the practice of this structure so that you can look at this. Then second sugar will be attached with this phosphate. Then one more we can make phosphate, and then sugar, and then we can make this type of structure. One more we can add phosphate, sugar, and 4 nitrogenous bases we have attached. Like this, millions of nitrogenous bases can be attached, and here we can attach millions of nucleotides and making one long strand. The DNA can be of 2 meter of any one nucleus. So this the millions of nucleotides will be arranged to make a one strand. Similarly, complementary, another strand will also be formed in front of this main strand. This is one strand. Second strand can also be formed in front of this one. So you can see here that is a complementary. So opposite of, suppose this is T, this is C, this is A, and this is G, our nitrogenous bases. So we can make one more strand over in front of this one. As I told you, two strands are there. Always keep in mind, students, one rule is there, that always T will be joining with the A only, no other nitrogenous base. So this will also be attached with the phosphate. So students, look at this. I am making this diagram, and for your learning only, this diagram you should do practice at home. So look at this second. Now C is there. C always, cytosine always combine with the guanine. It's a rule that cytosine always combine with the guanine. And then again, this is also sugar, then phosphate, then adenine is there, it will combine with the thymine only. Thymine. And the last one, guanine is there, so this will be combining with the cytosine. Okay, sugar, and in between them there is a phosphate. So you can see here, this is a two complementary strands. Now students, in between the two strands there is a very special bond, that is hydrogen bond. So I will make one two hydrogen bond between the A and T, but in case of C and G there are three hydrogen bonds. Okay, A and T, two hydrogen bond, and G and C. Oh, sorry, this is C. So between the G and C, I am going to make here again. A always combine with the T with the two hydrogen bond. G always combine with the C with the three hydrogen bonds. So these are hydrogen bonds. Okay students, so this is our complementary strand of DNA. So two strands join like this, and then they will be going to make a one strand, normal strand, that you can see here. The strip, the main strand will be made up of sugar and phosphate. The inner ladders will be made up of nitrogenous bases. So you can see here DNA structure. I will make for you DNA structure when we are drawing like this. So you can see this is a main strand, it is made up of sugar and phosphate, and the inner ladders will be made up of bases plus hydrogen bonds. Okay, so this is the structure. Whenever you will make this structure, you must draw a thick strand which is made up of sugar and phosphate, and thin ladders strips inside. So you can see here we can make it a thick strand like this. So we can write over this one sugar, phosphate, and inside we will write A, T, or here also sugar, phosphate you can write. In front of A we will write T, in front of T we will write A, and this side you will write S, P, and this will be attached with sugar. Okay, so like this you will make a DNA structure, and students, this DNA structure will be you should be able to write them very perfectly and very precisely, no mistakes. All these things should be keep in mind, how the structure is formed and how these are placed at various places. And in the end, students, I want to tell you that the DNA strand mostly arranged like a ladder, but the in between strips are made up of nitrogenous bases. Rungs of ladder, we can say that rungs of ladder will be made up of nitrogenous bases and hydrogen bond, but the strand of the ladder will be made up of sugar and phosphate. So this is all about your DNA, and students, hope this will be very helpful for you, and then we will meet in next topic we will discuss in next video.